This is Chapter 1, Lesson 3, Converting Unit Rates. Alright, so the first thing that I want to talk about when we're converting unit rates is actually this little table up here in the top corner of your notes. So basically, when I'm converting unit rates, I have smaller units and larger units. Okay? I can have customary or metric, completely depending upon what I'm dealing with. So customary is actually what we use in the United States. Metric is used pretty much around the world. Okay? So, customary, inches into feet, pounds into ounces into pounds, pints into gallons, feet into yards, feet into miles. Okay? Metric units are all base 10, which means they just go up or down by a factor of 10, which means you're just adding, or you're just multiplying or dividing by zeros, by tens, hundreds, thousands, things like that. So I have centimeters to meters, grams to kilograms, milliliters to liters, milliliters to centimeters, milligrams to grams. Okay? Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to look at is these arrows right here. It says 12 inches over a foot, because 12 inches equals a foot. Okay? Then I have 16 ounces over a pound, 100 centimeters over a meter. Okay? So these are all units. They're unit rates. Okay? Because they all have the denominator of 1 in the bottom. So each of the relationships can be written as a blank blank. Okay? In those two blanks, you're going to write the unit rate. Each of the relationships can be written as a unit rate. Like a unit rate, a unit ratio is one in which the denominator is 1 unit. So a couple other things you need to know. The numerator and denominator of each of the unit ratios shown are equal. So the value of each ratio is 1. You can convert one rate to an equivalent rate by multiplying by a unit ratio. When you convert rates, you include the units. Always include the units because you can cancel them out as you go. It's very important that you write down the units as well. The process of including units of measure as factors is called blank blank. In those two blanks, you're going to write dimensional analysis. Alright, so let's take a look at an example. So the example that I'm given is Greg walks at a speed of 7 feet per second. How many feet per hour is this? So I start with my unit that they gave me, 7 feet per second. Per means to divide. Okay? So 7 feet over 1 second. Okay? I want to know how many feet per hour. So the first thing I want to ask myself is, what do I need to change? Okay? I'm changing from seconds to hours. So if I don't know how many seconds are in an hour, what I can ask myself is, well, I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply, and I have seconds in the bottom, which means I want to put them in the top. 60 seconds in 1 minute. The seconds cancel. So I'm left with 7 times 60. Okay. Then, which equals 420 feet per minute. Okay. But that's still not where I want it to be. I want it to be in hours. I know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So I can multiply 60 minutes over 1 hour. My minutes cancel, and I have 420 times 60, which gives me 25,200 feet per hour. Again, notice how I wrote everything out. Make sure that you're including your units because these can get very tricky very quickly. So make sure that you're including your units and that you're actually crossing things out so you know what you have. All right, there are a couple of try problems below. I want you to go ahead, pause the video, try out the try problems, and when we come back, we'll go over the answers together. All right, so now that you've had a chance to go over the try problems, let's go over the answers together. The first try problem that I have is this one up here. A gull can fly at a speed of 22 miles per hour. How many feet per hour can the gull fly? So the first thing I want to write down is the ratio that they give me, which is 22 miles per hour. Okay. I want to change it to feet per hour. So I'm changing from miles to feet. According to the chart that I have at the top of the page, there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Okay. So there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. My miles will cancel, and then I multiply through. 22 times 5,280 gives me 116,160 feet per hour. Okay, so 116,160 feet per hour. So for number 2, which is this one right here, water weighs about 8.34 pounds per gallon. About how many ounces per gallon is the weight of the water? So the unit that they gave me was 8.34 pounds per gallon. And I want to go from pounds to ounces. My gallons stay the same. According to my table, there are 16 ounces in a pound. So multiply this by 16 ounces is the same as 1 pound. So my pounds cancel. 8.34 times 16 gives me 133.44 ounces per gallon. All right, my last try problem states a skydiver is falling about 176 feet per second. How many feet per minute is he falling? Okay, so the unit they gave me was 176 feet per second. And I want to figure out feet per minute. So the things that are changing are seconds to minutes. We know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So I have seconds cancel, and I have 176 times 60, which gives me 10,560 feet per minute. All right, and that is the end of Chapter 1, Lesson 3.